Get out on the beat. Get out on the beat.
Good afternoon, guys. We have to positively brainwash our minds. We have to make it our number one priority to start our day that way. It's the one thing that has helped me so much, and it is one thing I'm trying to do is to add value in your life through spreading as much positive thought energy because it's helped me. It's worked for me, and I hope that it can work for you. In fact, I know it will work for you. But it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a commitment, and it takes you winning the morning. You got to get up earlier. I know it's hard, but maybe you start little by little, and that's the time. That's the focus time where you start filling your mind with positive thought energy. We're going to be brainwashed anyway. Our minds are going to be filled and occupied by default by negative things. If we don't make an effort, that's what will happen. So it's up to you. You got to fight. You got to positively brainwash your mind. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Beautiful mind. I used to keep a magic marker, not a magic marker, a dry erase marker in my bathroom, so that if I was in the shower and had an idea, as soon as I got out of the shower, I'd write it on the tiles.
Super important, and one thing most people don't look at.
I think mindset is a huge part of actually getting some joy out of a difficult job.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
Good morning, Believe Nation. It's Evan. I am not a morning person, but here's what I know. When you start your day with a powerful routine that inspires you, it will change your life, like watching these videos. So let's start your day off right together, grab your coffee, and get ready for a shot of espresso from Simon Sinek.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
When I wrote Leaders Eat Last, that book, I mean, it was a behemoth.
Yeah.
And I had, nights and weekends were a fantasy,
Yeah.
And it became an obsession. I mean, it was like a beautiful mind. I used to keep a magic marker, not a magic marker, a dry erase marker in my bathroom, so that if I was in the shower and had an idea, as soon as I got out of the shower, I'd write it on the tiles. And I'd stand there brushing my teeth in the morning or the evening, and I'd read one of the notes that I wrote on the tile, and I'd have another idea. And if you walked into my bathroom, the tiles were filled with ideas.
I love it.
I mean, it was really insanity. I mean, it was fun though. But I lost 2 relationships over the course of that book. Yeah, because I was not myself. I was stressed out, and I was short, and it was. And as soon as the book was done, I'm still friends with one of my exes, who was the one I was dating, writing that book, and she only knew me in that period, and she knows me now, and she's like, this is better.
Wow,
like,
I know. You're a nicer human being.
It's not just nicer. I'm less stressed.
Yeah.
But would I have changed it? No.
Yeah.
Those sacrifices would have been nice for those relationships to have lasted. But the book, the message is bigger than me.
Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your relationships. It doesn't. I think it's a common misperception that to be an entrepreneur, you have to only do that one thing. You can't have kids, you can't have a husband or wife, you can't have a relationship, you're gonna treat everybody poorly because the only thing that matters is the business. The key is creating a relationship that serves you. This is where a lot of people fall apart, is you have this goal for a business you want to build, and then you have the goal for a relationship you want to build, and you see them as two separate things, as opposed to, no, all we're doing is try to build an ideal life for ourselves. I think about Nina, who we've been married, I don't know how many years now. I made this graph of my YouTube success from the day that Nina and I got married. And you see the early days of my chart and having kind of mediocre, just flailing around, trying to figure things out. And then once I married Nina, the growth takes off, explodes, getting massive success on the channel. And it's not because Nina taught me anything about YouTube. She didn't, right? She was just supportive, but she didn't have any strategies. YouTube wasn't giving her inside information on how I could win harder. But what she did was she allowed me to live my life. She was super supportive. She gave me encouragement when I needed it. She gave me the time and the space to work on the thing when I needed it. She made me feel happy. I think happiness is massively underlooked at in general by entrepreneurs. When people ask me, how do I still stay so motivated? How do I still stay so consistent? How do I stay optimistic? What's the number one tip that I have for your health? Like, well, it's happiness. It's doing work that you love. Being around people that you love, being around people that lift you up. Super important, and one thing most people don't look at. And so once I started being with Nina, and we married her, and the thing takes off, because we built a life. I look at, what am I doing right now? I'm on vacation. I'm out in British Columbia, where there's this beautiful spot. There's a local beach here. It's crazy hot, crazy warm. And it's a Tuesday for me, and Tuesday's my YouTube filming day, so I have to make YouTube videos. And that's what I'm doing. So we spent the morning getting new coffee, different coffee shop. We drove an hour outside of town to have the best Japanese food in the province. Went to an awesome little beach there, and now came back here. Nina's gonna wash Timo, our dog, because he got really dirty in the sand. Hayden's gonna relax for an hour, my son. And I'm outside filming videos. It's part of the lifestyle. I think what you need to ask yourself is, are you just gonna have these moments, these bursts of inspiration, where you just need to shut down and go home and write and make and create, and then you wanna just go all in a relationship, and the relationship you want is basically, I'm gonna be with you except when I'm not, and when I'm not, I'm all in doing something else, so you have to go a month at a time without me? Is that the relationship you want? Or can you build a little more balanced life? I think the people who go all in on their business end up sometimes creating great things, but also end up not being happy and burning out. How have I made over 10,000 videos on YouTube? How have I not missed an upload day in, 7, 8 years? Still making content every single day, not getting tired. How, why? Because I love not just the work, but I love the life. I work to create the life that I want to build. And so what you need to start to ask yourself is, what is the life that you want? To not think that, okay, I need to shut down relationships for the next 5 years while I focus on my business, and instead to say, how do I find the partner? Here's a great question to ask. How do I find the partner who makes me and my business better? It doesn't have to be a business partner, and your partner doesn't have to even be involved in the company at all, but has to understand what you're going through, has to be supportive for what you're doing, and recognize that that love, support, encouragement actually makes you a better entrepreneur. I believe that being married makes me a better entrepreneur. I believe that being a father makes me a better entrepreneur. When most people see that as time away, disadvantages, etc., I think that makes me better, and the results show for themselves. You look at my stats, you look at the growth, it shows for itself that I have had more success being a husband than not. I've had more success being around my son than not. I've had more success being around mentoring people, right? The people that I've invested into as entrepreneurs own a piece of their business, and mentor and guide them every day. Logically, it doesn't make sense. If you look at Alex and Jeremy and Drew and Bo, my entire Monday now is gone, air quotes, gone, where I'm not building my business. But since working with them, I've had more increase in my business as well. My business has done better. Spending one less day on the work and mentoring people has grown my company. Why? It's not that the businesses are so connected, it's that I get a greater sense of purpose, I have even more energy, I feel like the work that I do matters, and I'm around supportive people. And the more that you have that in your business, in your life, the more success and happiness you're gonna have, period. So instead of seeing it as moments in time to say, okay, I'm gonna spend a year or 2 years or 5 years working on my business and then I'll be ready. You won't be ready, newsflash. You're not gonna be ready because you're a crazy duck. You know that? You're watching this video, you're watching these channels, you're crazy, you're awesome, you wanna create something new. You don't wanna fit in with the crowd, you don't wanna be like everybody else, you want to birth a new world that doesn't exist yet. That's you, you're crazy. So guess what's gonna happen? You may be mentally telling yourself, okay, for the next 3 years, I'm just gonna buckle down, no relationships, focus on my business, that's it. You know what's gonna happen after 3 years? You're gonna wanna do it again because you're gonna get another big idea. You get some other thing that you wanna work on. It's a never-ending cycle, it will not go away. This is in you for the rest of your life. You're gonna look and see the world differently and look for improvements and look at how you can make things better because that's the way that you think. And so if you only operate by that, to say, okay, I'm gonna shut everything else down and only focus on this for the next 3 years, you're cheating yourself from a real life. You're cheating yourself from a real life, a fulfilled life. Now, what fulfillment and happiness looks like for you can change. It can change from year to year, it can change from month to month, it can change from week to week. And then you can adjust your schedule. Your schedule should always be a reflection of what brings you purpose, happiness, satisfaction, joy, impact. It's reflected in your calendar, and your calendar must change to reflect it. But the idea that you have to shut off having a personal life in order to be a successful entrepreneur, I don't subscribe to, and the results have been the exact opposite. The key is getting somebody who makes you a better person, who understands what you're going through, who can support you, even if they're not an entrepreneur, but they're willing to support you on your quest, on your journey. And I think when you find that person, it makes all the difference. Entrepreneurs typically don't have a fantastic track record with relationships, especially with the news recently coming out, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, etc. But it can be good. But it's on you to figure out what does a balanced life look like for you on your terms, and then to find a person who can help you live it. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? The science says that when you just watch a video, you get motivated, you get inspired, you have a 35% chance of following through on your goals. 35%, that's not enough. That's not enough just to get motivated. Believe Nation, we're here, you're here. Today matters, you're an action taker. When you commit to a plan of action of when and how you're gonna follow through, when you write it down, you have a 91% chance of following through. And when you commit publicly to somebody else, it jumps to 95% chance. From 30-something% to 95% chance of you following through. Believe Nation, we need to make this happen. So question of the day, your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action specific for the next week. Put it down in the comments below, and I'm gonna show on screen sometime next week to celebrate you. Also, if you wanna have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for the habit to stick. And that's what I want for you. So I've designed a custom free program where I'm gonna send you an unlisted video for the next 254 days to shift your confidence and belief forward. The link to join is in the description below.
We'll walk into a room and say, here's the problem, here's what I think, but I'm interested in your opinion, let's go around the room. It's too late.
I would rather take the risk of walking out knowing that I might get moved in a way that I've never experienced before, more than just go and have a nice night out and see something that I know is good. Successful measurement, successful recognition is not just for the steps you take. It's not just for the effort. It's that the effort you exerted moved us closer to where we're trying to get to.
Working at a hard job, working for a bad boss, can sometimes be one of the greatest educations ever. So the question is, can you change your mindset? Instead of waking up in the morning going, oh, I can't do this again, but rather view it as university. You know, you're getting a master's degree in leadership and you might be learning everything how not to do things. And to wake up in the morning and be like, what am I gonna learn today? early on in my career, I had a really bad boss who believed that she could get the most out of us by berating us. And she told me once that I had one of my reviews and she said, "You have no talent." And I was like, "Nothing?" And she was like, "Nothing." This was her way of, I guess, motivating me. But I had such a good attitude about it for a couple of reasons. One, because I knew what I was up against every day. And instead of taking it personally, I viewed it as my education of how not to lead. And I literally would file this stuff all away and use it someday. I get to use it now. And also, misery loves company. You know, I had a fantastic relationship with my team. We looked after each other because we all had this oppressive boss. We would compare the advice that we got in our little career building sessions, and we took care of each other. And so we had a responsibility to each other, and that's where we cut our teeth on being leaders. And it actually made the job wonderful. Yes, there were days that were oppressive. Yes, there were days that I hated. Yes, there were days that I wanted to like pull my hair out and just quit. But it's because of the team that I had, and we looked after each other, and the mindset of learning every day that I made the most of it. So I think mindset is a huge part of actually getting some joy out of a difficult job. I realized that what I was
Llama 911, que estamos en el firehouse. Play and skills. The cat is on fire. We all a little high, but we gon' get a little higher. Go! Let's go. Apréndete los pasos. Sigue el tutorial. Let me see you do it. Let me see you. Pop it, drop it, lock it. 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 Shake, 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 shake. ¡Ay, fuego la pista!
Feel the power of you controlling your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. You've got your legs crossed, your back straight, your eyes closed. You remember the truth. You know the truth that you were born to win, to take control of your life the way you take control of your breathing. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. So let's do that right now. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can as we begin our day today in the best way possible. Winning the morning, winning our mind, and growing our minds and our bodies. And whatever we do. So right now, let's see ourselves doing the best walk we've ever done when that music shuts off. Right here, right where we are, right where we sit. Because we know the truth. After all, we're made of truth. We're made of the same stuff the universe is made of. That's what makes you infinitely intelligent. See yourself right now doing the best walk you've ever done when that music shuts off. When that music goes off, you're going to win. You're going to make it real. You're going to make your dream, your vision real. Good morning, determination. So good to be here together again today. A new day, a new chance to be better than we were the last time. Here we go, everyone. When I say go, we're going to start jogging. So right now, as you're doing your best walk, whether it's side to side or whether you're simply walking on the spot, I want you to see yourself doing your best jog on the spot when I say go. I miss you so much, Beverly Glen. I miss you so much, determination. But we get to unite right now with this energy. We get to remember. We get to be our true great self. To grow our minds and to grow our bodies, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. And the way we do this is the way we'll do everything. So here we go. Okay, go. Always focus on your breathing. Keep going a little bit more. And stop. Okay, walking. Back to our best walk. Stay focused on your breathing. Remember, the way you catch your breathing, the way you control your breathing, is the same way you can control your thoughts and your feelings. Alright, let's start with some shoulder rolls forward. Let's do 10 forward. And backwards. Okay, let's do some arm circles forward. Feel the power of you controlling your mind and your body. Feel the joy of being able to move your body through space the best way you can. And backwards. Okay, hands on your hips, bend your knees, and side stretch. Okay, let's twist our bodies. Twist. Hands on the hips. All right, and let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. 5 push-ups. All right, let's do 5 sit-ups together. Here we go. The best you can. Okay, and let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All right, and let's do lunges. 3 on each side, arms out. Alternating legs. All right, good. And let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. And stand up again, everyone. And let's reach for the ceiling on our toes. Hold it there for 10. Okay, and reach for your toes, straight knees. Remember to focus and control that breathing. Just reach. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Reaching is what matters. All right, and stand up. And let's balance. Grab one leg and focus on planting that foot firmly into the ground. Bend the one knee if you have to. Find your balance point. And then pull that heel back towards your bottom. Excellent. All right, and switch. The other one. Find that balance and hold. All right, good. Okay, and now let's hug the one knee. Here we go. Bring that knee up. And again, find that balance. And hold it there. 10 seconds. All right, and switch. The other one. Slowly bring it up. All right, good job. Excellent. Okay, and let's sit down. And let's stretch out and reach for our toes. Straight knees. Here we go. Again, reaching is what matters. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Just give your best. Feel the joy. Feel the process of you working to become better at every movement you make. Every stretch you do. Okay, here we go. Let's do V-shape now with the legs. So V-shape, and reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. And reach for one side. Hold it there. And switch to the other side. All right, let's bring our feet together now. And gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10. Here we go. Again, feel that power of you in the now, in the moment. Winning. W-I-N, I've heard before, stands for what's important now. What's important now is doing our best in whatever we do. Okay, let's go one leg forward and one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground and go as far back as you can without hurting yourself. Keep that knee down though. Here we go. And switch, the other one now. Again, keep that knee down. Go as far back as you can. Okay, good. All right. And let's roll onto our belly. And let's push the floor and look up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10. All right, excellent. Okay, legs crossed again. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now I want you to see yourself right now. When that music goes on, I want you to see yourself doing the best you can on an exercise of your choice. For me today, I'm going to be working on challenging myself to do as many push-ups and air squats as I can. I'm going to see that in my mind right now. I'm going to try to be a little bit better than I was last time. What about you? Think about it. What is there that you want to get better at? What exercise do you want to do? Remember, it's got to be within the rules, safety rules, rules that are there for you to keep you safe. So this is the space we have right here. So what exercise will you do to the best of your ability when that music goes on? I want you to see that clearly in your mind right now. You might want to do jumping jacks. You might want to do burpees. You might want to simply dance, move your body to the music. If you want to play your own music, you can do that as well. I've got my music here. You feel free to enjoy that. But I want you to see yourself when that music goes on, doing the best you can, whatever exercise you choose. Because you know the truth. The way you do that is the same way you will improve and do better at anything. All right, determination, let's go. Let's feel that energy moving up. Here we go. Music always changes our energy state. Whatever you do, you gotta believe that you can do better. Here I go. As many push-ups as I can do. All right, we got 53 today. I gotta remember that for next time. What is it for you? What are you doing right now? Maybe you're doing some jumping jacks. Maybe you're dancing to the music. Whatever it is you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. You were born to be your best all the time. Remember your breathing. Always believe that you can be better than you were the last time. Even if you don't get exactly where you want to be, the process, the struggle, fighting to be better than you were last time, that's what's going to bring you your joy and your happiness. We have our determination. We get to work on that all the time. All right, air squats are next for me. What about you? All right, air squats. Let's see how many I can do here before I get tired. Too tired to keep going, but there's always a little bit more. That's determination. All right, here we go. You can feel free to do the same thing, or again, do your own thing. You got your own dance, your music, whatever you want to do. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. Here we go. All right, how's everybody feeling? We got the blood flowing. We've given our best at something. Feeling the power of us controlling our breathing again. There's no greater joy than that. For me, no greater joy than the awareness of our determination. So sometimes I try to do these exercises and I try to do as many reps as I can in a minute. That's one way to do it. You can change up your intensity, the amount of reps you do, the time you have, that's up to you. But whatever you choose, always try to get a little bit better than you were last time. in once again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, focused on our breathing. Back to our breathing. That powerful force keeping us alive, keeping our energy flowing. And we don't really think about it. We never really attempt to control our breathing, most of us anyway. But we were born to do that too. To remember that in any moment, we can take charge of it, the way we take charge of our breathing. Same way we take charge of our mind, our thoughts. So reflect back on today. How did you do? Are you satisfied with your work ethic? Are you satisfied with your determination? Do you use it in its fullness, its beauty? Our determination is invisible. We cannot put our finger on it. We cannot see it, but it is there. We have the power to determine what we will think and what we will do. Today, we've won the morning. We've won our minds. And therefore we can win our day and our life. One breath at a time. At a time. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great life as always. I miss you. I love you guys so much. Keep going. Keep using your determination. Love you guys.
Best Life 30, your 30-day journey to creating the best life possible for yourself. You can just watch this video, or if you want to sign up for the whole series and get the free bonus companion worksheets that go with this video, check the link in the description below. All right, today is day 11, and we're going to learn how you can overcome your fear.
You are unusually fearless and willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy. And I know a lot of pretty crazy people, you still stand out. Where does that come from, or how do you think about making a decision when everyone tells you this is a crazy idea? Or where do you get the internal strength to do that?
Well, first of all, I'd say I actually think I feel fear quite strongly. So it's not as though I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough, that you do it in spite of the fear.
So speaking of important things,
like people shouldn't think people shouldn't think, well, I feel fear about this and therefore I shouldn't do it. It's normal to feel fear. Like there'd have to be something mentally wrong if you didn't feel fear.
So you just feel it and let the importance of it drive you to do it anyway.
Yeah, actually something that can be helpful is fatalism. To some degree. If you just accept the probabilities, then that diminishes fear. So when starting SpaceX, I thought the odds of success were less than 10%. And I just accepted that actually probably I would just lose everything. But that maybe would make some progress. If we could just move the ball forward, even if we died, maybe some other company could pick up the baton and keep moving it forward, so that would still do some good. Yeah, same with Tesla. I thought the odds of a car company succeeding were extremely low.
Skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear. So I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up. you go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, and you go, yeah, and everybody goes, yeah. And you go home you by yourself, you're like, Right? And you're like, well, I mean, they was drunk too. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. So you get there and then you have this safety brief and you're standing there and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's gonna happen is what could happen? So you get onto the airplane and you're sitting there and you know, it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger, trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet and somebody opens the door. And in that moment, you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 terror. And then people start going out of the airplane. And the guy walks you up to the end of the thing and you're standing and your toes are on the edge and you're looking out down to death. They say on 3. 1. 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. And you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize at the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear.
Somebody once said that the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. I had been terrified of public speaking. I couldn't do it. I'd throw up. And I knew if I didn't cure it then, I'd never cure it. And so I saw an ad in the paper for the Dale Carnegie course, which worked on developing your ability to speak in public. And I went down there.
Be sincere. A good smile has the same effect as a puppy's tail. When a puppy wags.
They made us do all these crazy things to get out of ourselves, and so we stood on tables and did all kinds of things. If I hadn't have done that, my whole life would have been different. So in my office, you will not see the degree I got from the University of Nebraska. You'll not see the master's degree I got from Columbia University, but you'll see the little award certificate I got from the Dale Carnegie course.
Feel the fear and do it anyway, that famous quote. I want to tell you a little bit about the science. So there's this famous neuroscientist called Antonio Damasio, and he did a really interesting study where he discovered that our body senses fear before our mind even realizes it. And when fear or danger, speaking to your boss, calling a prospect, going to the gym when you're not proud of the way that you look. And, you know, it's not fear like terror. It's more that low-grade agitation in your body. I felt it yesterday because I went to a boot camp class yesterday and I'm not in good shape and I don't do boot camp classes. And Kendall and I are staying at this hotel where, holy cow, everybody seems like there's some sort of professional weightlifter or Instagram model. And so it was really intimidating. And I could feel that agitation in my body. That's the kind of fear I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the paralysis fear your life is threatened and you really are in a life or death situation. I'm talking about the low-grade agitation that is there when you're about to do something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So when fear or danger is sensed in the body, your body begins a stress response before your mind even catches up. And if you want to take control of your life, you got to take control of that physical state. And it starts with catching these moments, everyone, when you...
Hello, everybody. Anton Curley here from dropshiplifestyle.com. And before you click the skip ad button and
start to feel it.
With every milestone, while you might be excited about the milestone, there's a part of the milestone that you don't want to face. Are you hearing me? And listen to me. I knocked out the coursework, boom, got it done in order. E.T., why did it take you 2 years, E.T., after you finished your coursework? Why did it take you 2 years to get started with the dissertation? I'm going to be 100 with you. Look, knocked all the coursework out. But when I finally got to the dissertation, I had to get to that demon. I had to deal with it. I had to face it. Face what? We're not talking about elementary school, middle school, high school. I've had a professor or two tell me in college that you will never get your dissertation, that while your writing has improved, but in terms of your analysis, like you are not critical enough to do a dissertation. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? We're talking about, look, math, I love math coming up. Why? It is what it is. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Like, it is what it is, right? It's not subjective. Writing is subjective. I've had teachers to look at my work and strip it into parts. The fear of what? The fear of rejection. Right? My teachers were so subjective. I put my whole heart into it. I put everything I could put. And they tell me, edit it again. Revision after revision. Edit after edit. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? I had to deal with the fact that writing has never really been my strong suit. And even though I've worked hard and I put in hours and hours, in the back of my mind, I can hear the teacher say, E.T., you don't have what it takes to get a dissertation. I'm a grown man dealing with that fear. I'm a grown man of dealing with the rejection of getting all that red on my paper, of having to do it over and over and over and over. And come on, somebody feels me. You feel like you'll do 120%. You'll give everything you have and it still won't be enough. I feel you. I was there. A part of the milestone is, what if I give everything and it ain't enough? What if I put my whole heart, my whole mind, my whole soul into it, E.T., and it's not enough? What if I do it and I fail? And so I feel you. So you just like you're not going to do it at all because you'd rather not do it and find out the truth. And I'm telling you got to do me a favor. You got to face your fear, and you got to do it anyway. Your boy E.T. had to face his fear. That's right. Yep, I know. You see E.T. beast mode, and you're right. I am beast mode, but it don't mean beast mode without fear. It don't mean beast mode without a little anxiety. It don't mean beast mode, and I'm just 120% sure. No, I have to live by faith too, and I made up in my mind, E.T., you got to go after it, E. Look, I finished my coursework. It took me 2 years. Why? Because it took me 2 years to get over the fear. It took me 2 years to get over the anxiety. It took me 2 years to finally say, Goliath, here I come. Goliath, you might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming. And I'd rather die trying. I'd rather die going after this dissertation. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all.
When I was younger, life and society made this big world with all these endless possibilities. Yep. Endless possibilities. My life made my possibilities this big. Yep. Because it made me afraid of all these different things. Yeah. So all this stuff trapped my mind, it shackled my brain, it made me a prisoner within my own self, saying, this is all I can do. Because why? I'm afraid of this, I'm insecure over here, I got self-doubt over here, back behind me, good Lord, who knows what's behind me? I'm not gonna look behind me. So your life is this big. Versus it being like, I can do all this shit out here if I start to break down these these different walls and barriers. And that's what I started realizing. I could become a Navy SEAL. I could become this, but I was afraid of the water. Think about this. I know. Why the f are you gonna go be a Navy SEAL when all you do is play in the water? Yeah. And we don't play, we're in it and we're living in it. You're tying ocean. You're swimming for miles. That's right, the ocean is unforgiving. Yep. Yeah. So my mind is, I'm gonna go be a Navy SEAL. Yeah. If I didn't face that fear, no one would ever know me. I was number 3 behind Michelle Obama for a long time until my book sold out.
Yeah.
And I was a guy just 21 years ago who was 300 pounds, could barely read and write, and now I have a book just 2 spots behind Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Guess why?
Hopefully we get it above today.
Right. Just because I was afraid.
Yeah.
But you overcome those fears, guess what happens? The whole world, you unlock this door and everything opens back up.
Hi, I'm Rocky Heron, and I'm here to bring you an isometric strength program. In this program, we'll be working.
Again.
You know, I actually took this question from Twitter and I answered the question in one word. You've lived a life dominated by doubt and fear. How do you step into bravery? Step. That's how you step into bravery. Step. Take the step. Step aggressively towards your fear. And that step towards your fear is the step into bravery. Because we're scared of what we don't know. And there is only one way to learn and to know, and that is to confront that fear. You have to step, you have to go. And this simple action, this simple attitude, it answers so many questions. My theory here would be if you're afraid of fighting and altercations, go train jiu-jitsu. If you're afraid of heights, work on some rock climbing. If you're afraid of the water, it's time to swim. It's time to surf. It's time to get out there. If you're afraid of pull-ups, if you're afraid of pull-ups, do pull-ups. If you're in squats, do squats. If you're afraid of public speaking, go speak in public. Mm-hmm. If you're afraid to start a business, start a business. Make it small. And on all these, what you have to do is you have to mitigate the risk and you have to ease yourself into it, but you got to go for it. And eventually you will overcome that fear. But the hard part is you got to take that first step.
Yeah.
You got to take that first step to begin to inoculate yourself against the fear of the thing that's in your mind. Because that fear generally is in your mind.
Yeah.
That, you know, when you get up on stage to do a public speaking, people are not going to throw tomatoes at you and say, "Oh my, you're an idiot, get off the stage." No, right. they're going to sit there, you know? So there's nothing to fear.
Yeah.
It's in your head.
But you get on the web and you check out who's Dame Dash, and there's so much crap. How do you deal with that, and how do you suggest other people deal with it when they reach a certain level of celebrity?
I mean, when you sign on to being a certain level of celebrity, you got to know they're going to say things, and you know things are going to get eyeballs and get people to buy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I really don't care. And one of the reasons why I think I've been successful is because I didn't care. If I cared, I probably would be too scared to promote people that people don't want to promote. You know, it takes fearlessness to be first. You know, to not move with a crowd, to move alone, you know, and you get scrutinized by people that do move with a crowd because they got to make you look bad to make themselves look good. It's all part of the game. It's like a guy that's in high school that gets all the girls. The rest of the dudes hate him in high school. So my whole life has been being that guy in high school that everyone hates because I keep taking their girls.
I can understand that.
It's not a bad life. So that's how I look at it. The price of success is unsuccessful people don't like you. Who cares? Right? Successful people don't care about what another person's doing.
Successful people want everybody else to succeed too.
Exactly, that's my point.
You know, that's this whole mindset that people don't understand.
Right, so it's usually a bunch of unsuccessful, bitter people. And you know, I was a guy in school that, you know, got kicked out of every school. I was the class clown. You know, I wasn't the guy that you would traditionally think would go this far. So me making it made all my teachers look stupid. Every principal that kicked me out of school looked stupid. You know, I went to South Kent in Connecticut on scholarship. I didn't come back the next year. The next time I came back was on a helicopter and I landed it on the soccer field. You know, when I got kicked out of Dwight in the 7th grade, you know, my son came back and they were asking me, you know, I put my son through there. I paid full tuition plus
extras for tutoring, and they asked me to build a library. I'm like, the same principal that kicked me out is asking me to build a library. So it's egg on all their faces. You know, my success makes a lot of people look like they were wrong, because a lot of people articulated the fact that I wouldn't be what I am today. And either way, I didn't care, but I think it's kind of funny. It's egg all over their face, scrambled.
Overcoming fear is one of the greatest moves a person can make. First of all, we have to ask ourselves what causes fear. Fear is caused by ignorance, not knowing. And if we're going to go and do anything new, if we're going to break out of a paradigm, if we're going to change habit patterns, we're wandering into an area we've never been. And you know, fear stops most people. You'll find people afraid to talk to a stranger. You'll find individuals afraid to stand up and ask a question in front of other people. You'll find salespeople afraid to make a sales call, afraid to ask for the order. Stop and think of how confining that is. A person's putting themselves into a small cell, but it's in their own mind. The doors aren't locked. They can open, and you can walk away to freedom if you learn to overcome fear. When you face fear, it leaves you. Face the thing you fear, and it'll leave you. That's really the secret of it. In fact, if you hold yourself back because of fear, your life actually comes to a stop, because nothing gets better than it is. You've got to be courageous. Now, courageous people aren't without fear. Courageous people are the ones that face their fear. I think Eddie Rickenbacker pointed that out, the great pilot. Don't let fear stop you. Make up your mind you're going to step out and do it. Stop and think of the number of people that are in jobs that they don't like and they're afraid to leave. Or people in relationships that are destructive and they're afraid to leave. This is a terrible way to live, and it's not necessary. It's just caused by ignorance. And when we step out and do something, we gain an awareness. We develop an understanding. And like that, the fear is gone. Make up your mind that fear is not going to stop you from doing the thing you really want to do. Step out and do it today.
It seems like you can't open a book or read a blog post these days without hearing somebody tell you to follow your passion or follow your bliss or follow your heart. And yes, I have said those things too. But today I want to talk about the power of going in what can often feel like the opposite direction. I want to talk about the power of following your fear. I'm not talking about following your very useful fear of big moving vehicles and walking in front of a bus, nor am I talking about doing anything stupid or irresponsible that could ruin you financially. What I am talking about, though, is the power of following good fear, directive fear, the kind of fear that you feel when you have an idea that just won't leave you alone, an idea about doing something that you've always wanted to do, something that's different and bold and kind of risky, where part of you is saying, oh no, I actually couldn't do that. But the deeper, wiser part of you wants this thing so damn bad. And the moment you imagine yourself going for it, you have worries like, will people laugh at me? Will they ignore me? Maybe this isn't even really an idea. What if I do it and it sucks? Am I going to destroy my reputation? Am I going to lose my marriage and my family and wind up living on the streets? My friend Stephen Pressfield talks about this kind of fear in The War of Art, and he says, remember our rule of thumb. The more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. And he continues, the more fear we feel about a specific enterprise, the more certain we can be that that enterprise is important to us and the growth of our soul.
You can't hit a home run
Get eyes on the beat.